Physical Sciences, Lesson 14. Turn to Lesson 14 in the Learner's Workbook. This lesson includes individual activity with baseline assessment. Integration. The work covered in this lesson integrates with aspects of technology and also increases general knowledge about matter, mixtures, and separating mixtures. Prior knowledge. The work you covered in Grade 9 Physical Science, as well as some aspects of your technology learning, are the core knowledge on which you will build new skills and understanding in today's lesson on matter. Lesson overview. In this lesson you will learn about mixtures and separating mixtures, and understand heterogeneous and homogeneous mixtures. Know more about pure substances, elements, and compounds. Explore non-metals and metals.
Hi there and welcome. It's Physical Sciences Grade 10. My name is Tinyiko Kosa.
And I'm Peter Glover, and today we're talking about matter and materials.
Yes, matter and materials. Very interesting topic here. And we are going to look at the following things here as we introduce matter and materials to you. We will be observing things, we'll be describing things, we'll be classifying them, and we will also be looking at what do we use these materials for.
What we're talking about there really are some of the important processes in science, aren't we? Because we really start gathering our evidence about materials by observing what they do, by perhaps describing them. When you want an axe made, you tell the person how you want your axe made. If he doesn't know, but he's an axe maker, so he should.
Yeah.
And then we're also looking at the uses of materials and what material is appropriate for a particular use.
Exactly, and we will go so physical here. We'll be looking at the physical properties of materials. We won't go too much deeper into the microscopic level, so we'll be macroscopic.
But we will move then from the macroscopic into the microscopic later.
On.
Okay,
Yes,
sure.
That's it. Now, today, what we want to start with is to define what we mean by matter. What is matter? Matter is the stuff that everything is made of.
Okay, the stuff. Yes. We don't know exactly what that stuff is yet, but everything's made of it, whatever it is.
Everything is made of this stuff, and that is matter.
Okay.
And of course, this leads us to say something about material. A material. Now, what would a material be? A material can be defined as matter in a form that can be used. In other words, we can play around with matter in making it to be in the form that we can use. And once we have done that, then we've got the material.
Okay. I mean, it's just to try, because we talk about matter and materials in the chapter heading or the lesson heading. And what is the distinction between these? And yeah, we think that maybe that is it. Matter is the real stuff, and material is what you do with it when you transform it in some way so that it can be useful to you. Just a point I'd like to mention here, you notice that we spoke about matter being just the stuff. You remember earlier in lesson 3, I think we were talking about mass, and we were saying that's the amount of stuff that's
Quantity
in there.
of stuff.
The quantity.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. So now those are the definitions, and now let's quickly have a look at properties and use of materials. Now, when we look at materials, we want to use them for certain reasons.
Right.
For example, for their strength.
Sure.
Iron pillars.
There we go.
Concrete blocks.
So we don't make houses out of paper.
Yes.
We might make them out of wood, but we don't transform that wood into paper in order. Although, of course, in Japan, there is paper used in the screens in some of the houses.
In housing, yeah.
So maybe that wasn't a correct statement.
Yeah, but then what we are trying to emphasize here is that we use materials because of their properties, and that some of these properties, of course, can be properties that result from a synthetic process where we build up these materials.
Okay, so we transform it into the thing we want, and we might make it stronger through that process.
Exactly.
So iron,
Yeah.
an iron bar becomes stronger when we transform it into steel. Sure.
So that the strength comes in there, and so we're strengthening these materials. We want them to be the way we would like to use them.
Okay.
Second thing is that some of these materials, we use them as thermal and electrical conductors.
Okay.
Right.
Or I suppose the opposite of that would be if we use them as insulators.
Exactly.
In other words, if we want to prevent heat coming through or heat being lost. So we might make a woolen jersey to prevent heat going from our body into the environment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, it goes back to the fact that we play around with matter to produce our materials.
The materials.
Yeah.
The opposite of that, of course, is the runner who wants something that will help him remove or her remove the heat from their body, and so we want something that allows the heat to move into the environment and to cool us down. Sure.
Yes, and of course we would need things to do waterproofing. We don't want water to
more
seep
for
into
the runners, the runners who run in Cape Town in the winter.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will need materials like that. And another thing is that some materials, due to their properties, apart from the waterproof down there, some are brittle, malleable, or ductile, and we need those properties for specific users.
Okay, we'll explain those a little more.
To
remember them? Brittle, malleable, and ductile. Okay, ductile.
We'll come back to those.
Nothing to do with ducks.
Yeah. Yeah. And the last part there is materials being magnetic and non-magnetic. Sometimes we want it to be magnetic, and sometimes we say no, we don't want it to be magnetic.
Okay.
And in that way we are able to synthesize our materials.
Okay, something like the tapes that we use in a tape recorder. That brownish color that you see there is a form of iron oxide,
and
that's
magnetic.
It's magnetic, and that's what records the sound. So there you definitely prepare something and use it because of its magnetic properties. But you don't want too many magnetic things around when you're working with small bits of metal, in case things
go into wrong directions,
yes,
being pulled by magnets. And so that's what materials are actually used for. We use them for different reasons. They could be a lot more apart from what we've said, but we've singled out a few to show you
important properties.
We can use materials.